With a blonde friend is American Nelson Vails, the sprint cycling silver medalist at the Los Angeles Olympics, and the man hailed at this moment as the world's hottest sprint rider. He is in Australia to meet local hero Kenrick Tucker in a sprint series in Sydney on the weekend. He held a press conference at the venue for the clash, the Camperdown Velodrome, on Tuesday morning after just stepping off the plane.
Basically, myself, Nelson Vails, live month by month. With each competition, like, I try to peak for this particular week of competition I'm about to compete in, and I did the best of weight training I did and as many races as I could to prepare myself for this event, the coming events here.
What about Kenrick Tucker?
What about?
He'd be out after your scalp, won't he?
Yeah, being that this is his hometown, and I have been training to beat him in Newland, Gary, and I'm sure they're not going to make it easy for me, but I'm going to make it look easy. Mate, as far as for me to win.
How important is winning to you?
It's very important for me to win here because being that Kendrick's hometown, I'll be racing his home velodrome. Being the underdog, a lot of odds are probably against me because it's his summer. He's been training all year long, and I haven't really been training, but I've been racing well, you know, in the United States, and I just want to win just so I can go ha 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 ha.
Vails' reputation is set firmly on those powerful legs. Some observers say he has little tactical ability, but relies solely on the thrust from his huge thighs. Vails beat Tucker in the quarterfinals of the LA Olympics, but after a recent form slump, Tucker is back at the top after 3 wins recently in Brisbane. Vails will become the first black American to race in Australia since the legendary Major Taylor competed here in 1904. When Vails arrived in Australia last week to take part in a 2-event match racing series with Australia's top sprint cyclist Kenrick Tucker, he came with a reputation. And not just as a cyclist, but as something of an interviewer-eater as well.
You know, I answer the questions as they come, and I never really look forward to any real questions or answering any particular, you know, reporter's question in the way they would like to hear it.
Have you always been such a quiet bloke?
Excuse me?
Have you always been such a quiet bloke?
I try to be a little quiet, but I really can't help myself.
But if he was going easy on the local press, it was only because he was in a good mood, lounging in the sun with his blonde friend, turned on for the occasion by the promoters.
You look as if you're the sort of guy to enjoy the social aspect, the fun that goes with all the fame.
Well, that comes with the fame. As far as I eat dinner probably once, twice a week at the Hard Rock Cafe in LA, which is a good 30-minute drive for me. But I do get to eliminate people for their tables, and that's the good part. The fame and a little bit of fortune after the Olympics all deals with being an American and the Olympics being in America.
Things were more tense when he met Tucker in their first clash in Brisbane on Wednesday night. The promoter, John Scott, played on the nationalism of the crowd and the riders themselves. And when the two lined up for the start of the first heat, a battle between 4 of the greatest thighs in the Western world had been turned into a national struggle of epic proportions. In the first race, Vails had the favoured position behind Tucker, and the two stalked each other high on the bank track at Brisbane's Chandler Stadium, each competitor waiting for the other to make a move, each hoping to get a slight jump. When the sprint came, it came late. Vails had held Tucker to a slow pace until half a lap from the finish, and although Tucker got the jump, Vails was able to hurtle past the Australian at the line. Race 2, and this time Tucker had tucked in behind Vails. He had learnt a lesson from his first match: get the sprint going as early as possible. At the halfway mark, Vails almost stopped his bike, and Tucker, forced to go past, leapt down the banking and took off for the finish with Vails in pursuit. But Tucker seemed stronger over the longer distances and won by a considerable margin. We've seen Vails on arrival, but his jaunty mood took a definite dive after his first loss to the Australian.
Starting to go to sleep on you guys right now. You know what time it is in America? I don't either. Well, life goes on. Right now, I'll just cry. Oh boy.
Meanwhile, Tucker was having a highly technical team talk with his father behind the stadium.
Do it a bit longer.
What do you mean?
Not that, no, than the first one.
What do you mean?
The sprint.
Oh yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blown.
No, you'll be all right.
Tension, Vails and Tucker mounted and were strapped in for the decider. Again, Tucker lurked behind Vails, with this time both men having more of the other's measure. The bell was the signal for the sprint, and it was Vails that went first. Opening a handy lead, Tucker couldn't catch him at the line, and the American was declared the winner of the Brisbane leg. Sunday and Vails was back at the Camperdown Velodrome, one up in the series and saddling up in the searing heat approaching 30 degrees. Again it was anthems and flags, but the competition here was somehow more serious. Both men realised that only seconds, just 1 or 2 pumps of the pedals, separated them from each other. Race 1, Vails behind Tucker, both high on the banking. Just over 1 lap from the finish, and it's Tucker that goes first. But unable to see the American, he is pipped by centimetres at the line. Several events were held in between the first race and leg 2 as both riders sweltered in the afternoon humidity. Race 2, Tucker takes the back position. This race is more clear-cut.
It's Nelson Vails. Goes to the top of the track, Vails in the centre. There's the bell ringing now. Johnny knows now. So, Nelson Vails, passed by Kenrick Tucker, who brings the lead.
Again going into the third race, Tucker had won 1 heat and Vails the other. Race 3 was to be the decider. For Vails, an opportunity to again assert his title as the world's top sprinter. For Tucker, a chance to level the series against the Olympic silver medalist. Race 3, things go Tucker's way in the opening moments as he gets the plumb position behind Vails. Both riders are wheeling at a snail's pace.
Sprint home at the indication he's giving Tucker at present, and Tucker is prepared to cop it. There's an art in itself staying up in their banking at that speed. Firstly, at what speed to stay upright on the 38-degree banking. They get 3 laps left to travel.
After 2.5 laps of stalling, he sees he is far enough from the finish and swoops out from behind Vails. Tucker had just held off the charging Vails to take the race and the Sydney series. For the American, the transformation was complete. He didn't want to speak to us, his jaunty manner had evaporated, and he refused to say anything without his glasses and hat.
I mean, it's Christmas time. I'm going to go home and enjoy my winter when I'm done here while these guys get ready to train. I won't go my very best until August when it really counts. So right now, this is nothing, you know. I didn't get the flowers this time, but it's no big thing.
But what about Tucker? His engaging good humour remained the same throughout the series. In fact, it has done so for the past 10 years, since he has been at the top of senior competition.
People said, you know, oh, good ride, you got beat. But, yeah, they don't sort of understand that he's a world-class bike rider, you know, I'm not racing no mug. So I thought to myself, well, you know, it's pretty close, and if I ride right, I can beat him. And that's what I did.
Kenrick Tucker, the Rockhampton Rocket, having blitzed poor old Nelson Vails, who didn't seem all that impressed by having lost it all.